All right, now that you've had some time to work on these problems, A, B, C, D, let's talk about them for a little bit. So, in question A, you are given this situation. Well, I don't know about you, but I see two different triangles. Did you see two different triangles too? I saw this triangle right here. I'm going to draw this and trace it in blue. From stake 1 to stake 2 to stake 3. And I wish I wasn't drawing on a mouse pad because my hypotenuse of this triangle is way off. But you will forgive me because you are kind and benevolent people. And so I'm going to shrink it so I have a little extra room. And so we know that this side right here is 120. This side is 80. And oh, I know what happened to it. It's right here. So I'm going to bring it up to this level so you can see it better. There we go. And so the other triangle is probably the easier triangle to see. The other triangle is the large triangle that is made up of tree 1 at one vertex, tree 2, and stake 3. Now that one was much better. And as I say that, I'm ruining this vertical line. All right, there we go. And so I'm going to draw these two triangles, or have these two triangles completely separate of each other, so they're a lot easier for me to manage and see any connections. Well, we know that this top length is 140 feet. And so what do I notice about these two triangles? Well, I notice that they're similar. They have the same shape and the same angles. I can even prove that to you. See, that's pretty much the same. That's pretty much the same. And this one's kind of the same as well. So since they are similar, I know that there has to be one and only one scale factor that connects the side lengths for the corresponding side. So the question is, what did I multiply 80 by to get 140? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my calculator, and I'm going to divide 140 by 80. Let's see what we get. So we get a scale factor of 1.75. Sounds like there's a party going on in the hallway. Can you hear that? It's all right. It's probably just the 6th grade hooligans. I'm sure you were never like that in 6th grade. Oh, no. Well, let's multiply 120 by 1.75 and let's see what we get. So multiply it by 120 times 1.75, and I will get 210. So this length is 210. Now, does that mean the distance across the river is 210? Well, no, because the river is between stake 1 and tree 1. This large triangle is made up of tree 1 and stake 3, right? But I know that stake 3 and stake 1, well, that's 120 feet. So really all I need to do is subtract 210 from 120, or subtract 120 from 210. And so I get this river is 90 feet across. All right, so that's question A. Love it. Question B, describe the relationship between the perimeter of the small triangle and the perimeter of the large triangle. Well, if the scale factor is 1.75, then the perimeter must also be 1.75. C, the diagram on the previous page shows 3 straight, blah, blah, blah. What order do you think, Darrell? You can skip this one totally, because we talked about that in the launch. In question D, another group of students makes a different diagram with similar triangles. They put their stakes in different places. It's the same river, it's the same trees. What do you think is going to happen when you put these three new stakes in? Well, let's see. Do you see the two triangles again? I certainly do. So we have our first triangle, which I'm sure you've already drawn out. And I gotta tell you, when you have nested shapes like this, it is super helpful to always draw the shapes separately because it's just easier to see. All right, I'm going to pull this triangle out, or I'm just going to move the whole drawing. Let's draw that other triangle. I'm going to draw that in red. Maybe, just maybe, I will get to do this. All right. And we know this is again a 140. So what is this? So, and we know that these two triangles are similar because the angles are the same. And I'm going to have troubles with this one. There we go. So the angles are the same. These general shapes are the same. So what did I multiply 35 by to get 140? Well, I gotta tell you, that doesn't really roll off the tip of the tongue, that answer. So I'm gonna go ahead and divide 140 by 35, and I get 4. So that means the scale factor is 4. So if I multiply 4 times 30, now that's a little easier to do in my head. 4 times 30 is going to be 120. Well, that's the distance from tree 1 all the way to stake 3. I know 30 of that is taken up between stake 1 and stake 3. So 120 minus 30, well, that's just 90 again, right? So we get the same answer. So we've been able to double check our work from the first problem. All right. So that's what we have for this investigation. That's the review of it. If you have any leftover time, feel free to do your homework. Make sure you do your homework quietly, and so that Mrs. Hatchett doesn't have to spend too much time babysitting you, because nobody wants to be babysat, and nobody wants to babysit. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.